Hi, happy Friday. It's book club time again. I'm C.M. Vasquez, author of The Birdcage Society Falling, the first in an ongoing psychological mystery series. Today I'm going to be talking about Chapter 12 of Darkly Dreaming Dexter, giving a recap and my impressions. For this book club, I will be reading the full Dexter series by Jeff Lindsay. I do have a full playlist of chapters 1 through 11 up on YouTube at CM Vasquez. If you'd like to subscribe and follow along, and of course read along with me, give me your impressions in the comments. I look forward to those. Let's get started. This chapter starts off with a description of the man that LaGuerta arrested. His name is Daryl Earl McHale. Dexter describes him as a two-time loser. He's a drunk, a felon, and a wife beater. The latter is actually what landed him in prison for his longest stint. And it seemed to have made a good impression on him. He hadn't beaten his wife since, and the job he landed as a janitor at the arena is one that he managed to keep for the longest. He even gained a small bit of fame with the crowd at each game for the dance that he would do after cleaning up the ice after each goal. But that stopped when the hockey team stopped performing as well. No goals meant no dance. And LaGuerta spun this into the press conference, saying that this small bit of fame and the eventual loss of it had driven Earl to murder. And since he has a history of violence toward women, it was an easy tale to tell. And the press loved it. They ate it right up. As far as they knew, the killer had been caught, confessed, and the working girls were safe. There's just one giant problem with this. Daryl isn't the murderer. And I wonder, what's going to happen when this guy murders again? When the real killer actually kills somebody while they have Daryl in custody? I mean, it's kind of comical, really. This hole that LaGuerta has dug herself into. I hope that everybody sees her for what she is, but again, doubtful. And it's too bad that somebody else is going to have to die in order for people to potentially realize that LaGuerta is an idiot. But to be fair, given the way things have gone so far, I doubt there will be any real repercussions for her. She's either the luckiest woman alive, or she's extremely good at manipulating people. Either way, it's extremely frustrating, and I find myself wanting to punch her in the face. Just a little bit, you know? Just a tiny bit of satisfaction. Dexter is disappointed when none of the reporters are smart enough to see through what LaGuerta is presenting. He thinks that maybe he's watched too many black and white movies where there's a cynical reporter who asks just the right question that leads the investigators to re-examine the case. He says the line, "But sadly, life does not always imitate art." This line sent my brain off on a tangent. I was thinking how relatable this is because we've all wanted our lives at one point or another to be like fiction. And it's not always fantasy or sci-fi where you want to be in that world. Sometimes it can just be something as simple as wanting someone or a group of people to react or behave in a certain way. Now, the real tangent occurred when I started thinking about the opposite aspect of that line. Life doesn't always imitate art, but art almost always imitates life. And I think art is a kind of wishful thinking. Art is always better or worse than reality. It's never exactly the same. Otherwise, art would be boring. But getting back to the chapter, Dexter thinks that however brutal Daryl is, LaGuerta is the real threat to society, and says that what she's done is akin to sending people back to bed in a burning building. I absolutely adore that line. It makes me wonder, are there people like LaGuerta in real life in homicide? Could a real detective really be this dumb and reckless? I certainly hope not, but you never know. And after watching the press conference, Dexter thinks about how the killer must have seen the conference as well and would be laughing, but then would ultimately leave a comment of his own. Dexter is anticipating this and is excited about it. He knows that he should stop this killer, wants to, even, as an end goal. But he also wants to wait. He wants LaGuerta to be embarrassed when another murder pops up, as he should. We all do. He wants to get Deb her promotion, but he also, and perhaps most importantly, he wants to learn from this killer. Dexter admires this man, which is causing him conflict with his choices. Deb calls Dexter. Seems to be a common thing with Deb. She's always calling him after the press conference. And he tells her that she needs to make a statement of her own, saying that Daryl is the wrong man and that there will be another murder. Making this statement will not hurt Deb's career any more than LaGuerta already has. But Deb is still skeptical. She's tired and she's losing her forward momentum. But Dexter convinces her that he's right about this. The killer will kill again, and when he does, it will be a statement. I'm thinking that the statement that the killer is going to issue will be a particularly brutal murder, but I also think that there's going to be some type of message in with this murder. A message for everyone else to see, for the homicide detectives to see, maybe the press, but I think that there will also be a hidden message in it just for Dexter as well. So we'll see if that happens. Deb seems resigned to play out Dexter's scenario by the end of the chapter. It's clear that Deb trusts Dexter, even if she does believe that there's something off about him. I think she'll make a great detective. She has good instincts that do need some development, but I think Dexter can help her with that. I just hope she's brave enough to follow through with this plan. Join me next week on Wednesday for Chapter 13, and please subscribe on YouTube for the full playlist and more videos to come. Bye.